The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
History is in the making as Floridian Terry Rinker, who hasn't lost a race in 2006, looks to close out the season with a world record 7 straight victories. He's so close to this unprecedented achievement. Does he feel added pressure going 7 for 7?
There's always pressure out there, and there's a lot of good competition this weekend. Blackhawk team is ready. We've had a great year, all wins. I think it's only fitting that we finish it off with a win here to make it a perfect season.
Tim Seibold's chances are on life support. You'll need both luck and a win to capture his 5th series title. Can he put together a strong statement this weekend with a victory and take aim to regain the #1 badge in the ChampBoat Series for 2007?
Bud Light 07 season will start with the win today in Savannah.
Wyatt Nelson showed he's only getting better as the season rolls on as he pushed Rinker to the limit, finishing a close second at the last race at the Grand Prix of Hartford. Can he take it one step further and capture his first ever victory on the ChampBoat Tour this weekend?
Absolutely. We just went testing last weekend and we picked up a bunch of speed, and we're going to take the win this weekend.
So 20 drivers from 3 different countries have come here to wrap up the season on the Savannah River here in lovely and historic Savannah, Georgia. Southeast Georgia is football country, and for some people, well, they just love to pass on their experiences to others. While for the drivers, catching this knowledge is easier for some than others. But any way you look at it, there'll always be another test of competitive skills. As the first Grand Prix of Savannah and the final round of the 2006 ChampBoat Grand Prix Series comes to a slam dunk conclusion next. From the edge of the Savannah River here in beautiful and historic downtown Savannah, Georgia, it's the 7th and final round of the ChampBoat Grand Prix Series for 2006, the inaugural Grand Prix of Savannah. Hi everybody, I'm your host Steve Michael along with my partner Bill Seibold, many-time world champion, and we welcome you to a very possible historic afternoon as one driver in particular we're going to keep an eye on today, Terry Rinker from Tampa, Florida, goes for a world record 7 wins in a row. And Bill, what a great place to start. He's on the pole today.
7 wins. You know, every time you win a race, the pressure builds. So I know Terry's under a lot of pressure today, and this river is really going to be tough today with the tides moving in and out and the wind that's blowing around here. So, you know, I know that Terry just feels like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Yeah, and Sean Torrente, the man starting in 2nd place. Now, he is a Rookie of the Year candidate. He has only finished 1 race this year. He's itching to have a good result to wrap up the season.
You know, we lost Greg Foster, the wild man across the water, but Sean has sure taken his place. This year, his equipment's let him down a little, but Sean's really got a shot at it, and he's got a shot at taking Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and Tim Seibold, your son, right in the mix. A many-time champion 4 times, but he's looking for his first win this year.
He is. Tim has been snake bit this year. You know, we've had a lot of problems, electrical problems, working out the new boat problems. So he's done a little testing in the last couple of weeks. So he's trying to get that 2007 started off on a good note.
A lot of great stories, a lot of intrigue ahead of us. Can Terry Rinker set a world record? We're about ready to find out as the crews head to the docks. We'll start racing when we return right after this timeout. The ChampBoat Grand Prix Series on Speed is brought to you by the all-new Rudy Revolution Sports Energy Drink, and by Amsoil, first in synthetics, and by Mercury Racing, where the race never stops. Welcome to the historic beauty of downtown Savannah, Georgia. It's the 7th and final round of the 2006 ChampBoat Grand Prix Series. And before we take a look at the racing action, let's pause for a moment and give you a postcard view of this area, Savannah, Georgia. With the ChampBoat Grand Prix Series 2006 campaign wrapping up here in Savannah, we went around the paddock and asked the drivers how they would sum up their season in 3 words or less. Terry, how would you sum up your season in 3 words or less?
Kind of okay.
Not so good.
Awesome.
非常に厳しい.
It was horrible.
In 3 words or less, how would you sum up your season 2006?
The best it can be.
It was so disappointing.
Disappointing.
There's no more words. Disappointing. That's it.
Oops.
Brian, in 3 words or less, how would you sum up your season?
Fantastic.
Short.
Not bad, Steve.
Darn good.
Not so good.
Excellent. Very good.
Terry, how would you sum up your season in 3 words or less?
Can't be beat.
You stole that line.
A full day of competition on the Savannah River with a qualifying session and a pair of heat races set us up for our main event this afternoon. Let's find out who took top spot and pole position for today's Grand Prix of Savannah. Starting in the 5th spot will be the Canadian driver Brian Benton out of Toronto, his best qualifying effort ever in his career. Starting in the 4th spot will be Mike Seebold, who finished 2nd in St. Louis. Mike Seebold's won more races than anybody else in the history of this sport. Starting in the 3rd position will be his brother Tim Seebold out of St. Louis, a must-win for this driver on the Bud Light team.
Well, that's going to be a big advantage on this course with the narrow corners, the tight straightaways. I'm happy to put the Bud Light boat up in 3rd.
Starting 2nd is the rookie out of Miami, Sean Torrente, driving the California Gold Machine, looking for his first win of the year.
Yeah, we figured that. It was real rough, and we didn't think our times would be better. And plus with my little bobble down there, figured that was going to happen. But we're in good shape. And, it's going to be rough, so we got to pick and choose our spots.
And the man on the pole for the 5th time in 7 races, looking for his 7th straight win of the year, is Tampa's Terry Rinker.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. We're hoping to start first and just improve our position from there, bring home that number 7 win for the Amsoil Rinker team.
Here's the rest of the remainder of the field of drivers for today's Grand Prix of Savannah. Starting in the 6th spot will be the driver from Illinois, Chris Fairchild. In the 7th spot will be another Illinois driver, Lynn Simberger. In the 8th position will be Newmarket, Ontario's own Mark Major. In the 9th position will be Randy Rinker from Syracuse, Indiana. In the 10th spot will be Uzo Ukawa, the 52-year-old from Tokyo, Japan. In the 11th position will be Jeff Shepard, driver from Woodlawn, Tennessee. Starting in the 12th spot will be Chris Shepard from Antioch, Illinois. In the 13th spot will be Wyatt Nelson from Syracuse, New York. In the 14th position will be Michael Hurricane Floyd, a local driver from here in Georgia. In the 15th spot will be Brian Norman from Mandeville, Louisiana. Starting in the 16th position will be Steve Attard, a Canadian driver from Ontario. In the 17th spot will be Ned Mihaljevic from Florida. In the 18th position will be Bill Gore from Wildwood, Missouri. And in the 19th spot is Jim Summer out of Kansas City, Missouri. There's your field of 19 drivers for today's Grand Prix as we take a look at the qualifying results. Terry Rinker, his 5th pole of 2006. Drivers may win on the water, but before they can collect the hardware and rewards at the end of the day, they must first pass inspection before and after the race. We spent some time with Chief Inspector Roger Carr and looked at what the drivers have to do in order for them to stay legal at race's end.
Well, as Chief Inspector, we make sure everybody conforms to the rules and plays the game right. We check for safety. We want to make sure that all of these boats are safe when they go on the water. We don't want to see anybody hurt, no problems. We check their helmets, their jackets, their seat belts, everything. This boat has got to be safe or we will not let it race. That's our main priority, is safety. We check for the weight. They have to weigh 1,155 pounds minimum. Boat, motor, driver, exactly the way they came off the race course. We check their fuel to make sure the fuel is legal. We'll do several different tests on that. Then we go into the engine. There's a highly modified engine, so they can do a lot to it, but we put certain restrictions on them. For the legality of the engine after the race, we check the intake to make sure it's up to specs. We check the heads. They have to be a stock head. There's certain measurements they have to make. And we check the ECU box, which is the brain of the engine. That controls the RPMs, it controls the fuel injection system, and this is the easiest way they can get around anything, so we make sure that this is right there. Very highly sophisticated gear case. We make sure that it's as per factory specs and that they haven't gone in there and done something to make their own gear case out of it. It's a long checklist, but we want to make sure at the end of the day that everybody's safe, everybody's legal, and make it a good show.
The drivers are headed to the cranes. The boats are being lowered into the water. We'll come back and start things off when we return right after this timeout. Welcome back to lovely Savannah, Georgia, here on a cool and windy fall afternoon. Fans from throughout southeast Georgia have gathered up to watch the first ever Grand Prix here on the Savannah. And as the drivers and crews get ready to go just moments before the start of this race, as the boats continue to go back into the water, there's Tim Siebold. He needs a victory this afternoon. There's Uzo Okawa, and this man, all the pressure on Terry Rinker. Let's take a look at the championship points as we head the boats into the water, and all Terry Rinker has to do is start this main feature, and technically he will win. He'll have enough points to capture the national championship for the second straight year. Here's the qualifying order as we take a look at the top 10. Terry Rinker, Sean Torrente, Tim Siebold. We've seen that a lot this year. Mike Siebold, the guest driver, coming in looking for his 29th career victory, and Brian Benton having his best day ever. As the boats line up along the dock, seconds before the start, we hold our breath. The final race of 2006 is underway, and Terry Rinker explodes away from the dock, but Sean Torrente stays right with him on the right hip as they go side by side down through the commitment buoy, heading down toward the east side of the course, and Terry Rinker slides wide out of turn number 4, forces Sean Torrente to the outside, and Tim Siebold with his brother Mike right behind as they try to close up in the top 4. Rinker out in clear water, got the whole shot that he needed. Remember, he's going for 7 straight victories. No one has ever done that in the history of the sport. This would be a world record. As the boats come through turns number 1 and 2. Oh my, Brian Benton sliding out. Almost was hit from behind by Lynn Simberger. Benton going backwards. He was very lucky not to be collected at that point. As they come out of turn number 4, Rinker's got the clear lane. Sean Torrente going to the inside, but he's still starting to feel some pressure from behind by Tim Siebold as they get side by side as they head down the front straightaway. Speeds of close to 130 miles an hour, and now Tim Siebold noses out ahead, but wait a minute, there's a caution on the race course. There's a problem. Oh, what a shame. Jeff Shepard has gone off down at turn number 4, so the driver from Tennessee who was up for Rookie of the Year honors, one of 3 drivers who had a chance in this final race. And as we look at the spot shadow, you can see him up in the corner as he skips along, loses control, and barrel rolls to a stop right in front of traffic. So with the race stopped, we'll have a restart here. And we hold our breath as the pressure's on Terry Rinker. The field gets away, and off they go across the race course. And again, Terry Rinker, as they sweep by the commitment buoy, he heads down to the backside of this race course. Through turns number 3 and 4. Again, Torrente trying to chase from the outside, and the Siebold brothers from the Bud Light team out of St. Louis going a little bit farther wide in their battle for 3rd place. Terry Rinker now technically winning the crown for 2006 by starting this race, but he's got a bigger chore. He wants to win that 7th straight win of 2006. We'll see if he can get it here. 46 laps left to go in this event. Terry Rinker now heading down in towards turn number 3 and 4. And let's watch him skip through there. There you can see a lot of turbulence in the water and a lot of wakes as they come washing off the walls here. It starts off with this race course being very quiet, but then as the laps start to go down, then all of a sudden the backwash comes bouncing off the walls on either end, and this becomes a very rough and difficult Savannah River. Oh my, you saw a problem there as Tim Siebold had worked his way around Sean Torrente into second place, but they came zinging by a boat that had stopped. Oh no, it looks like it's Brian Norman, the driver out of Louisiana. And on replay, we'll get a chance to see what happens here. Look at Tim Siebold. He had just nosed ahead of Sean Torrente for second place, but Brian Norman is caught in harm's way down into the entrance of turn number 1. The officials are going to have to stop this race again. And there you see a very disappointed man who thought he had Rookie of the Year honors wrapped up about mid-season, but he has struggled here the last couple of weeks, and we're set for another restart. This the second restart of the afternoon. So 2 of the 3 drivers up for Rookie of the Year have dropped out early. And now Sean Torrente, as he comes off the dock in second place, fighting Terry Rinker for the number 1 spot, has a real opportunity to come away with that Rookie of the Year honor if he can stay right where he is as he goes through these final 40 laps. So as they accelerate down the front straightaway, here's Terry Rinker out alone again, right where he wanted to be. Tim Siebold not really pushing Sean Torrente for that second spot, as we had seen a little bit earlier. And he had actually gone ahead of Sean Torrente, but then they had to stop the race. And now here on this third start of the race, looks like Tim Siebold has drifted a little bit farther back. And now Chris Fairchild is pushing hard. Chris Fairchild, who started back in a 6th spot, the Illinois driver closing quickly up on Tim Siebold in the battle for the last podium position here on this 1.25-mile race course on the Savannah River. This is the first time we've ever come here, and all during the weekend. I'll tell you, it's been a rough race course, but the drivers have handled it very well. Oh no, we've got another problem. There's another caution. Oh, Wyatt Nelson barrel rolled on the race course, and quickly the rescue team has come in. We have stopped this race with 8 laps in, 42 left to go. Back with more right after this. Welcome back to Savannah, Georgia. And yes, we've got problems on the water as we've come up with our 4th caution of the afternoon. Michael Hurricane Floyd from Rincon, Georgia, the driver from right up the road in Savannah, has gone over. He blew the boat over about 10 feet in the air, and now the rescue team has gathered him back up here on this 12th lap. So we will have another restart. This will be our 4th restart of the day, our 5th start on the water. This is a record breaker for 2006. So Terry Rinker in the field will be asked to do it one more time, and the flag waves, and they're underway, and off the dock they come. And again, Terry Rinker noses out in front. He gets an ace of a start. Sean Torrente riding off his right hip like a shadow, trying to close up. Torrente, the driver out of Miami, Florida, doing his best to work his way toward the front for a first victory of 2006. He has led 2 races this year. He has failed to finish in his last 3, and he knows he has a shot at Rookie of the Year if he can get the job done this afternoon. But Terry Rinker out in clear water here on this 1.25-mile course accelerates away down the back stretch as you got a great camera location from 12 stories up watching Terry Rinker as he works his way down towards turn number 3 and 4. Darkness in the afternoon. It's getting darker here. And the fall, of course, the sunset a little bit earlier. Drivers having no problem, however, seeing as they work their way now down the front stretch. Terry Rinker with Sean Torrente. This will be the battle we focus in on as Torrente now is starting to slowly reel him in a little bit more. The 10-time champion in various different categories. Terry Rinker has won 10 national championships. He's been racing ChampBoat powerboat racing since 1995, and he's looking for his 3rd national championship, his 2nd in a row. He won his first back in 2003. He's been a runner-up about 3 times in this series. He and Tim Siebold have been fighting the last 7 years for the number 1 spot. So it looks like Terry Rinker is going to get the job done for a 2nd straight year if he can stay ahead of Sean Torrente. But the man in that red boat in the 2nd place spot, as they continue to set a blistering pace, they continue to lap back markers. Torrente now getting closer and closer. Now he's only less than a second behind. Torrente closing on the back stretch, and it looks like he may have a chance to make a move, but he's running out of time here. And Terry Rinker will be guarding his position. He wants that dream season to stay alive for a few more laps and come away with 7 for 7 and set a world record here on the Savannah River. As Terry Rinker now looks up, he's got a few more back markers to work his way around. Right in front of him is Lynn Simberger, the driver from Elza, Illinois, third in the championship, fourth on the water today, and look at him lap the driver in fourth place. That is the pace that Terry Rinker, now as he pulls away from Sean Torrente, the front two boats are making on the rest of this field. Mike Siebold has dropped out of this race. What a shame for the driver out of St. Louis, who has 28 career victories and was up in the top 4. He has drifted away. And Tim Siebold, who was the only other driver with a chance to win the championship, is 2/3 of a lap down. So here on the final lap, Terry Rinker knows that he's less than a mile away from setting a world record and having a dream season on the back straight. He's now hoping, with all fingers crossed, that he can get the job done one more time with full-time acceleration as he goes down into turns number 3 and 4 for the final time in 2006. Torrente making it tough on him, but Terry Rinker will come up and cross the finish line and win and set a world record, winning 7 for 7 in 2006, the perfect season here on the ChampBoat Grand Prix Tour. As he crosses the line, Sean Torrente will come home in second place. We'll come back and hear from the 3 drivers who made it to the podium right after this. The ChampBoat Grand Prix Series on Speed is brought to you by the all-new Rudy Revolution Sports Energy Drink, and by Amsoil, first in synthetics, and by Mercury Racing, where the race never stops. Welcome back to Savannah, Georgia, and as Terry Rinker celebrates his victory, let's hear from the man who finished in third place, Tim Siebold.
Conditions were worse at the beginning, then they got a little bit better. So all in all, it was a great day for the Bud Light crew.
As we take a look at the final results in the top 10, a wonderful day for Brian Benton and Ned Mihaljevic, 5th and 6th, the best ever. Let's hear from the man who finished in second place.
You know, he was faster than me, and that's all there was to it. The water laid down, and we lost a lot of our lap boats to wrecks, unfortunately. I hope everybody's all right, but he deserves. He did a good job, and we just did everything we could to get by him.
Well, here they are, the official results of the race this afternoon, and let's go down and hear from the man who won his 15th career victory, Terry Rinker.
It's just been such a great year. It's just hard to believe. I'm just beside myself. To be able to win 7 in a row out here with this competition is just outstanding. I tell you what, I know it's never been done, and I really didn't think we could do that. Perfect 2006. All right, guys!
Well, with Oreos in his mouth in celebration, Terry Rinker dominates in 2006, wins by over 500 points on the rest of the field. And as he raises his trophy up high one more time this year for the 7th straight time, here is the Rudy's Hard Charger of the Day award. It goes to Ned Mihaljevic, the driver who started 19th, and the driver from Florida finished a fine 6th place on a great day. For Terry Rinker, 2006 is a season he'll always remember, from his first victory in Bay City in June to his final victory in Savannah. For my partners, Wally Shaver and Bill Siebold, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next year. So long from Savannah, Georgia.